What's poppin', guys? What's going on, dudes? Dudes. I don't know if you can hear the music or not. I think that hold on. I think that's it. There we go. Let's go like this. And then like that. But, you know, we back, homies. What's going on, beautiful people? I am the Grandmaster, and I also go by D-Ray, bringing you guys the APA draft analysis for this season. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. This is the APA, the American Pokemon Association. This ain't no D-League. This ain't no academy. We here, baby. We got the blanket. We got the water. It's like a flavored water. Cause your boy quit drinking. Not really, kind of, most of the time. I, you know, lost a little bit of weight. Hope you guys are doing great. Let me actually pull up the chat because I can't see y'all. Who's here? I don't know who's here. Dude, Aiden Fourth, Mr. Mid Pokemaster was popping. Jesse 504 is here. The Mr. Bandit himself is here. What's up, team? We'll get into some details in just a little bit. Give a little bit more time for some people to come in. I'm very cold. As y'all know, we're always doing the draft streams instead of videos. Draft streams over videos, I'm telling you. Draft streams over videos. Am I loud? Am I good? Yeah, let's see. I should be good. Put this a little bit louder so y'all can hear that. Cool. If at any time the music's like not loud enough or something's like tripping, hold on. That should be good. That should be good. If the music is too loud, y'all give me a heads up. Please do so. Please give me a heads up. I'm gonna turn it down to like there. Let's do that. And then I'm gonna put you guys over here on this side so I can see y'all on this side. Perf, so I can look directly at you. All right. That's looking good. That's looking good. Whoa. Whoa. Again, please tell me if the music is too loud. But what's poppin', everybody? What's poppin'? Give it a couple more seconds. Couple more seconds, let everybody come in. What's poppin', everybody? What's poppin'? I think I probably should like take this off and go from there. Maybe. What do I like better? Do I like better with this or no? Anyway, but what's going on, everybody? How are things going? What's up, Incog? What's up, dudes? So let's go ahead and get started. Today, like I said before, we're bringing you the draft analysis, aka the draft recap, as the thumbnail says, of the American Pokemon Association. This is the main league. The big boys play here. When I started playing YouTube, I'm like, man, I think that my goal here before I walk away into the sunset is going to be to play in this league and the WBE. 50% there. We're 50% there. And yeah, we're here. It's craziness. It's gonna be nutty. Not only are we gonna be playing in the league, we're helping run it. Shout out to Hojo Albina that got the legendary Panther and Miticus and E4 Dan. You know, we talk about the creators a lot, but we don't talk about Dan. Elite 4 Dan. So the creators of the APA, we have Panther, we have Miticus, and E4 Dan. The three of them created the APA. This is season number 7, so a very long time ago. This is one of those Titan leagues that's been around for a hot minute back in the good old GBA days. Is one of the best leagues to watch. Participants in the past go up with high praise. Names like A-Drive, my good buddy Joey, aka PokeMD Envy. Who else is played in the EPA? That's pretty gnarly. K Cray played in the league. Kyle A, my boy, he's played in the league before. Wolf Glick has played in this league before. So there's some crazy accolades that have come through this league, and so we're gonna take this very seriously, but at the same time still have a good time. Can't forget the reason why we're here, right? With the name, in the name of taking this seriously, we have added 3 members to the front office. Please check the description below and check out their stuff. I think the only 2 that don't have YouTube channels are lordxie and Jack. But besides them, please check out my front office's YouTube channels. They are phenomenal human beings. I learn from them every single day. And it's always a good time in the front office and the sanctuary. So thank you guys so much for joining the team. I'm very excited for this season. I have some notes here to talk about before we get into things. We talked about the history of the league. A lot of really big names have played here. So this league is high praise, right? So when we were putting the roster together, OG Albina got the reins from Panther and from Miticus for it to run season number 7. We were running, the goal was to do this on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I was actually working with my good buddy Joey Pokame, great buddy of mine. He was going to play in the league, unfortunately, you know, due to unforeseen circumstances. Now it's just a bad timer. Obviously, a lot of the ex-coaches that played in the EP are not real interested in playing in Sword and Shield because, unfortunately, we do still have to play with the land play timer, and it's just a hassle to do so. So we do have a little bit of a different roster change. So we decided to fill up this league with players that are of high skill, players that are consistent, players that are entertaining, players that are memorable, and players that have made a big name for themselves in the recent and in this day and age in draft leagues. So phenomenal roster this season. The APA is going to be high competition, obviously not to the level of COG, or I think that Aquarius calls it something different, but I pronounce it COG, the Champions of Galar, which is obviously full of champions, right? So it's not going to be at that caliber because I do highly respect that league. Aquarius has done a phenomenal job taking care of all of that, but here these players are consistent, these players are of high skill, these players have great content creators, so you guys are in for a big treat. In the description will be a link to all of their YouTube channels. Please make sure you subscribe to every single one of them, support them all, and watch all the battles. Head down to the description as well. I think I may have put there. If I didn't, let me know. I'll put it, I'll actually do this now in the chat so you guys have this. But here is, we're gonna do invites. I wanna do this real quick before I move forward. I'm gonna put a non-expiring link to the APA Discord server. So we're gonna put that there. Make sure you guys hop into the Discord server, the APA, the Superfan chat, we call it, and that way you guys can get notified every single time your favorite coach posts their video. That's my admin duty in my stream for the day. What's going on, Dina? Daniel, how you doing, bro? So that is that. Great league. Make sure you guys follow all the coaches. A couple more housekeeping stuff before we really get started. Let's see here. All right, this league is going to be taking place a little bit differently than in the past. In season number 5 of the APA, Chase and Dan, Seabad and A-Drive created this really cool format. The format is going to take place over the course of 12 weeks. Every 4 weeks in blocks of 3, we're going to be redrafting a brand new team. So today's recap is going to be for the team that we have for the first 4 weeks. After week number 4, the entire league, we're going to get back together, we're going to redraft, and we're going to go for another team brand new for the next 4 weeks and do it again a third time. Right? All of us are incredibly competitive. So I would anticipate that the 3 drafts are going to be neck and neck to get into playoffs. For those who qualify for playoffs, those participants are going to get to choose from the 3 teams that they drafted throughout the season to roll with for their playoff run. So it's going to be pretty solid. We had to make a little bit of an adjustment to those who are fans of the APA for a really long time. The format that Dan and Chase came up with was you could pick any Pokemon that you drafted throughout the season as long as they fit the tier requirements of the league. So there was like, they're mega, right? Because it was in Sword and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Your mega tier 1, a tier 2, tier 3, or 2 tier 3s, 4, 5, and 4 free picks. So you can pick any Pokemon that you want as long as you fill out those requirements. And so everybody had a busted team. Lots of Tapu Kokos, lots of Landresses. So in this way, it's just going to be one team that you pick of the 3 that you've drafted throughout the season, which is a little bit less overpowered and a little bit more competitive in our opinion. So I think that those changes were definitely necessary. And that's how we're going to roll with this season. Very, very excited for this one. And great question, Jesse, because this is leading into the next thing, and you'll see that for after when I pick my first pick, you guys will see what the thumbnail is about. But anyway, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Unfortunately, we have to do this, like I said, I mentioned already, in Sword and Shield, because Ilka really bent this over and stuck it all the way up there. The 20-minute timer is been decided amongst many players. It is just unviable. There's no way for us to do 6v6 competitive Wi-Fi draft league and have games not be adjusted or come to timer. There's other leagues that are doing kind of alternative forms like 4 versus 4, a point system. We decided as a team for the APA that we are not going to do that. We're just going to go with Sword and Shield, that way we can have competitive matchups for you. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've been on Sword and Shield, but it is a beautiful game and we've got great coaches here. It's going to be worth the while. I promise you, it's going to be phenomenal this season. You guys haven't seen anything like this before. I can guarantee you that. Okay, we talked about the draft details, we talked about the playoffs, and that's about it. That's about it. So if you guys have any questions for me, again, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll be happy to answer them. Again, I'm one of the admins of the league. I'm very excited to participate this season. Like I said before, it's been a dream of mine to be here in the EPA. I've been watching this as a fan even when I was playing doubles way back then and traveling over, and so it's cool to be considered here. Panther and Miticus have grown to be really cool friends of mine. Great people, love them to death. Panther, love you, bro. And all the friends that I made in the EPA, so to the point where I'm here is pretty cool. And now I'm gonna say this, I'm not here from skill, guys. I'm here to have a good time. I think that I'm here from a popularity contest. I have people like me. I don't know why. They think I'm entertaining. Take that as you may. We're here to have a good time though. We are gonna try our very best to make it to playoffs, get back to the finals of a league and really get back into form. But your boy's been out of practice for a really long time. I've been away from draft league for a long time. I made an update video. It's gonna be a lot of ring rust, but hey, we're here to have fun. We're here to have fun. So make sure to subscribe if you're new. Let's go ahead and buckle up and let's hit the ground running, shall we? Let's go ahead and get into the draft. So again, this team is only be for 4 weeks. The draft structure is 120 points to draft 9 to 12 Pokemon. We were position number 6 in this draft. It was a cool way how we decided the draft picks, which was really nice. So yeah, we got the 6th pick. This Pokemon, they talked about it in the draft stream with OG Albina and John Jr. Yeah, it could have been done it's a little bit early, but in this league, Mr. Mid Pokemaster is in here. So I had to take advantage of being in front of him in the draft to finally get this Pokemon. We picked up Victini. So we got Victini with the 6th overall pick. We're gonna name Victini Vicente. Shout out to 6 Foot Hacks. Actually named it Vicente first. I think he had Victini in another league and named it Vicente for V. Who's Vicente? Vicente Fernandez. Vicente Fernandez is a very important, popular mariachi artist that recently just passed away. It impacted a lot of people's lives, including mine and my family's, and it meant a lot. It sounds really lame, but he really did. So we're naming Victini Vicente under and in memory of Vicente Fernandez. Very sucks, man. But anyway, lived a long, cool life. Love that thing to death. So now, Victini, this Pokemon is awesome. It is a fighting and psychic type. Hits very hard. It's a mythical, so it's got base 100s down the board, but gets crazy high base stat attacks, right? V-Create base 180, Blue Flare on the special side base 130, Bolt Strike as well base 130. Lots of crazy moves. Victory Star is the ability on this thing, which means that it's able to increase its accuracy on those non-accurate moves. So those high base power moves that are typically you're gonna miss more often than not, it's a lot easier to hit them with Victini. So phenomenal Pokemon with crazy high attack. It just literally clicks buttons. It clicks buttons. I've been wanting to use it for so fucking long. And either Mid picks it up or I just don't have the opportunity to get it. So I finally get the chance to take it. Yeah, 6 may be a little bit early, could have gotten something a little bit better, but I haven't used Victini and I wanted to pounce on the opportunity right here, right now. So with the next pick, we wanted to find a partner that's going to be able to complement Victini a little bit better and allow it to do what it does best, right? And one of the best ways to stop Victini is to status it, mainly like paralysis. Paralysis is no bueno because you don't want to reduce that speed. You want to be able to outspeed stuff to bop them. So we decided to pick up Tapu Fini, which is going to be the 1/2 of our elemental core. We have our Victini as a fire type. We have Tapu Fini as a water and fairy type. And the reason that's important is because they cover each other's weaknesses, right? This is able to switch in on water types. This is able to switch in, actually really nice to water types. So Victini is there to summon the Misty Terrain as well. So that way, Victini being touching the ground does not get affected by status conditions, so it can't be paralyzed, which is actually really important. So Misty Terrain's secondary effect is also going to reduce the power of dragon type moves, so that's something to think about too. It's kind of tough to have a dragon type on your team with Tapu Fini, but that's okay. Very bulky water type. This gen they gave a Draining Kiss, which is really nice. Those Calm Mind Iron Defense sets, pretty phenomenal. Gets access to Haze, so that way you can't fully set up on it. It's a really good Pokemon. It could be very offensive, it could be super defensive. It's very thick on both defenses, and it's really nice. I like Tapu Fini a lot. And then on the next pick, we wanted to continue the trend of completing our elemental core. So we wanted to give a really good grass type to help out with the really the weaknesses of Victini, right? So Victini doesn't like he doesn't like dark types, doesn't like ghost types. So being able to get this Pokemon is really nice. We have Zarude. Zarude is here as a grass and dark type Pokemon. A very strong mon. It's a base 105 speed, which is really nice to have to outspeed those 101s like Landorus Incarnate, or the 102s like Garchomp, which is really cool. Hits very hard. It actually has really great stats, both defenses. I think it has base 120 attack. It hits stupid hard with stab power whips and Darkest Lariat. Unfortunately, they didn't give it knockoff, but it has close combat as well, even U-turn for pivot momentum. So as of right now, we have a cool little turn core, because not Volt, but a little turn core. We have U-turn with Victini and U-turn with Zarude, which is really nice. It has kind of a null and void ability. Its ability essentially in the sunlight, when sunny day is up, it can't get statused. So it's basically a wash, but that's okay. Not the biggest deal in the world. Next Pokemon we picked up was Nidoqueen. This mon I needed to get now because Otto had taken Nidoking. I wanted to get one of the Nidos with this draft to get my ground type and my grounded poison type, which means it's a poison type that is touching the ground. So it's able to soak up Toxic Spikes upon entry. It can also set up Toxic Spikes itself. Very reliable stealth rocker. But I wanted to get this thing now before it gets sniped. So it was the very tail end of round number 4, and I can probably guarantee you it wouldn't have been able to come back. But it's able to cover some really crucial things for this team, mainly being that reliable rocker, and it's a phenomenal wall breaker too. Pick your favorite flavor when you talk about Nidoking and Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen's a little bit more defensive. It's able to soak up a little bit more hits, and it can hit a little bit harder if you're going to be like investing fully like modest max special attack or adamant max special attack, but still being able to soak up those hits, even though Nidoking is a little bit faster, which is nice. But this is able to chew those hits that you don't want to take with the Pokemon that we have now, mainly fighting type attacks, which is not very nice. We don't want to have Victini be that sole bringer in, as well as Tapu Fini. It's going to have a lot of pressure to be able to set up on or bring in on fighting types, so we want to bring in Nidoqueen to help us out with that. Crazy dumb coverage. Phenomenal Pokemon. Really happy to have this on the team. Now on this next Pokemon was I took a lot of advice from people that have seen me draft in the past, and I've learned a lot from the leagues that I've been in prior, right? And I've learned that I am a big spender. I'd love to just toss out the cash, man. I like to just get big Pokemon and be top heavy, and then get the shitters at the end, because then the shitters never come. So I decided to change my mentality, right? And then go with a new approach and have a full balanced team. So this did not reflect that, but I felt as though it was very important to have. We picked up Thundurus. Thundurus is a base 111 speed Pokemon, a flying and electric type. This mon is really good to help us with the bulky waters that are going to want to come in on Victini, and it helps relieve the pressure of having Zarude have to come every single week to break those bulky waters. So we have a physical fiend to break waters with Zarude, and then we have the special side with Thundurus. But Thundurus can also be physically offensive. Gets Defiant, which is really nice. So it's able to increase its attack if any of its stats get lowered, as well as Prankster. So Prankster Thunder Waves are really nice, even though we do have the terrain, which is unfortunate, but you can do Prankster bulk ups, Prankster rest if you want to be that guy. Prankster rest and bulk up subs. Hey, you never know. But mainly this is here to help us with the speed and to assist Zarude with the bulky water type. So it's got crazy coverage. It's a electro type with access to U-turn and volt switch, so we don't have to get just hindered and pinned to only using volt switch and be blocked by a ground type. And it's also be able to hit those ground types with like things like knockoff or grass knot. So great electro type, good speed tier. And now from here, we decided to go and pick up some bulk, and we got Porygon 2. Porygon 2 was almost like a must because of the wall breakers that we have that don't want to come in on hits. Victini, we want to get as many clean switch-ins for Victini as humanly possible. So we decided to get Porygon 2 to be able to soak up any hit, really, because this thing literally resists everything. It's a normal type that's weak to fighting. And if you look at our team, we don't care about fighting types. Victini doesn't want to come in under fighting type, but it can. Tapu Fini doesn't mind at all. Nidoqueen doesn't mind at all. Thunderous can take a fighting hit or two. So the fighting weakness on Porygon, which is its only weakness, is relatively covered on the team. Porygon's able to come in, soak up any hit with Eviolite, being able to boost up its defenses, not care, and teleport out to bring in Victini, to bring in Zarude, to bring in Nidoqueen. Phenomenal fit here. I love the pivot aspect, which is really nice, as well as its abilities, really cool abilities. We've got Analytic, and we have Trace. Trace is nice to be able to face like a Landorus Therian, which did get drafted. So if Lando's on the field, in comes Porygon, and then we Trace's Intimidate, and then that Landorus is now -1, which is really nice. If the Pokemon has Levitate, and they're gonna go whatever that may be, so a Sand Rush, whatever that could be. Another one that's really viable to think about is like Flash Fire or Volt Absorb Pokemon. You can come in, trace their ability, be immune to their stabs, and just sit in front of them. So Porygon's a great ability, great abilities, and it's able to soak up hits and just move on from there. So from here, we decided to get a little bit of speed, so we picked up Excelgor. So now we were as high as 145 and down to 111. 105 was Rude, and then 100 with Victini. So our speed tiers are really nice. Excelgor is the fastest, most viable Pokemon you could draft. I say that with the respect of Regieleki. I liked Regieleki when I had it for a little bit. I had it in the BBL. I did drop it because it wasn't really doing very well in Ubers, but I did use it and it was a lot of fun, and it forced prep. That's another conversation for another time, but we did get Excelgor, which is faster than Zeraora, which Zeraora was drafted by, I think, Q, the Costa Rican, so we do have the fastest Mon picked, and I think that someone did get Regieleki, but we have Nidoqueen, so we're fine. We're fine. Excelgor sets up spikes for the team. Phenomenal offensive threat on the special side with access to things like Bug Buzz for stab to activate Throat Spray, which is really nice, which would pop our Unburden to make us even faster, so we don't have to worry about like a Choice Scarfed Dragapult or a Choice Scarfed Zeraora. It's going to be the fastest thing if that Unburden does get popped. Phenomenal. Final Gambit stuff could be really viable if I want to get rid of whatever lead that opponent has at that time. Lots of different options with Excelgor. Very excited to have it. Great Pokemon. And now from here, this is more of a comfort pick. We picked Klefki. If you look at our team, we don't have a steel type yet. We're getting towards the tail end of the draft. I kind of devalued the steel type with this draft because we were so decided on building around the Fire, Water, Grass core of Victini, Tapu Fini, and Zarude, which are going to come a lot more often than not. We didn't really value the steel typing as much just because of all the different resistances that we had. The team is looking really good. This is probably like a contender with like one of the best teams I've ever drafted. That's very exciting to say. So I decided to pick up Klefki because the points worked out, and it's a comfort pick for me. Phenomenal steel and fairy type, so get the steel type and another fairy type, so I don't have to just rely fully on Tapu Fini. Now, I know there was a knock on this Pokemon because people kind of pin it to being a Prankster T-Wave Mon. It doesn't always have to be a Prankster T-Wave Mon. Prankster Spikes, really nice. Prankster Defog, phenomenal. Prankster Screens, excellent. This Mon can do more than just Thunder Wave. So being able to have this thing for setup is nice. Screens with Nidoqueen, awesome. Screens with Thunderous, phenomenal. The Zarude doesn't get Swords Dance, but it does get Bulk Up, so that could be another nice. There's a lot of different setup options with this team, so Screens is really, really nice. Prankster Defog in case we need to get rid of those hazards ASAP if we're not heavy duty boots on Victini. A lot of options, a lot of things that the Klefki is able to cover, and it soaks hits, dude. Like the stats aren't very good, but the typing is so nice. It literally chews hits that it shouldn't chew. Phenomenal mon. And there's another set that's pretty viable, which is like Rest, Calm Mind, Draining Kiss if they don't have a Resist the Fairy. A lot of different options with Klefki. I think it's a phenomenal Pokemon. I really, really, truly do. Now, I mentioned prior that it's kind of tough to have a Dragon type on a team that has Tapu Fini because it does reduce the stab power from that Dragon type. So we decided to pick up more of a utility mon. But before I decided to do that, because this Pokemon was at a point amount that I could afford, and I kind of looked over it, I was actually gonna draft Lucario here because a fighting type would have been really, really nice to pair off with what we got here for breaking prowess, to really help break those dark types that are gonna want to come in on Victini, to help break those normal types that are going to be really annoying for the rest of the squad that we've got, right? So we're going to set up on having Lucario with its priority and options to run physical and to run special. Lucario doesn't have the respect right now because no one's really taking the opportunity to give it a chance. We were going to do it until I saw this mon. We picked up Druddigon. Druddigon was here sitting at 7 points, and I hadn't seen that it was, we looked over it. It shouldn't be 7 points. It should be more, in my opinion. Phenomenal options. Is a great defensive mon if you want to run a rough skin Rocky Helmet set. It's a great offensive piece with sheer force boosted moves. It doesn't get any of its sheer force boosted moves that are stab, but others that are non-stab like elemental punches is really nice. It's a rock setter, so now we have a dragon type that sets rocks, which helps out with Nidoqueen. So now we have Klefki and we have Excelgor for spikes, and we have Druddigon and we have Nidoqueen for rocks. So many hazard options for this team, which is really nice. Being a pure dragon type means that the defensive prowess that this team provides is phenomenal for the squad. It really puts the team together. It glues the team together. A lot of different options you can run with it. We don't necessarily have to have it offensive. So rough skin Rocky Helmet with Dragon Tail, even though it's going to get, you know, nerfed from the Misty Terrain, we just need to phase things out. That's all we need. So Druddigon really does fit with the team. Really, really nice. Next Pokemon we picked up is actually going to be the last mon on our team. Again, like I said, you can have 9 to 12 Pokemon. We decided to go with 10. Pick the Passimian. This is the replacement for Lucario. Passimian, I was actually watching a lot of John's videos. John Pokemon. He brings up a good point. If you really, really, truly look at it, there are a lot of really good fighting types. A lot. So I decided to get my fighting type last, and I ended up with Passimian, which is one of the better ones in my opinion. Getting access to Defiant is really nice to help deter removing of hazards, and we have every hazard, right? We have toxic spikes, we have spikes, and we have rocks. Aside from sticky webs, we have all of them. So we're gonna set them up. We're going to deter our opponents from wanting to click default because we could just bring in Passimian and get the attack boost. Gets knockoff for the ghost types. It gets U-turn for pivot momentum. It's a very thick Pokemon with a being base 100 HP and good defenses. So an assault vest variant, very viable. Great coverage, phenomenal coverage. It gets Iron Head for the fairies. Good Pokemon, very, very strong fighting type. Very excited to use it. I think I drafted it once before, but I never brought it to a game because it wasn't really needed. So I'm really excited to have it for these 4 weeks. And that is the team. Here we go. I do want to mention also that the AP is going to have an analyst team, which is pretty cool. Analyst, John Jr., Jesse 504, and SW087, aka my friend Seth, is going to be the analyst team this season. I believe that they're going to be posting those videos on their personal channel, not on the APA YouTube. So make sure you guys tune into those to see like power rankings, pick'ems, coach interviews, things like that. Very excited to have this big movement we got going on with the APA. It's going to be something special. We haven't had the AP back really since I think the beginning of last year. I think is the last time we played, or the beginning of this year could have been. Yeah, the beginning of this year, which was season 6. Great season. So very excited for this season. If your first time here, hit the subscribe button, leave a like on this video. Thank you to everybody that came out to watch this thing live. This will be posted on my channel. Again, hop into the Discord server of the EPA so you guys get pinged and get the roles of all your favorite coaches, and hopefully support your boy as we come back. San Diego Snugglers are back, guys. I'm very excited to to take that step back into the community, I can't stay away, guys. I love you guys so much. I feel healthy. I feel good. Things have really turned around since the last time we've talked, and things are great. I feel as though now is the time, and I'm excited to be here. I love every single one of you. Have a great rest of your night, and above all else, be nice. Peace.